Okay, tell me you've never been there. You're staring down at the last Lucky Charms marshmallow, and you just know your sibling is going to lose it when they find out. Now imagine that sibling rivalry, except instead of the kitchen, it's the White House. And instead of a sugary breakfast treat, it's the 2024 presidential race. That's the kind of juicy drama we're digging into today. We're taking a deep dive into White House hijinks, a recent article from the Snuffington by the resident White House whisperer, Chip Scoopington. Scoopington claims that President Biden dropping out of the 2024 race wasn't about age or those pesky approval polls, but an epic behind-the-scenes feud with Vice President Harris. And the final straw, you guessed it, that box of Lucky Charms. Apparently, the president finishing those marshmallows sent the VP into orbit and not the celebratory space mission kind of.
It's a wild claim, right? But what's fascinating is how the article uses this almost comical anecdote to frame a serious political event like a presidential resignation. It feels like a trend we're seeing more and more sensationalism in the news. These relatable, even if slightly exaggerated situations, grab our attention and make the story infinitely more shareable.
But a serial squabble doesn't exactly scream presidential meltdown, does it? This is where Scoopington's narrative takes an interesting turn. He goes on to detail a series of escalating pranks between the president and vice president. We're talking hidden reading glasses, clothing swaps, even unplugged phone chargers. You know, classic sibling stuff, but with arguably higher stakes.
It's like a political sitcom playing out on Pennsylvania Avenue. But while these initial pranks might seem harmless, even chuckle-worthy, the article takes a turn. Scoopington suggests that VP Harris starts taking credit for some of President Biden's, shall we say, less graceful moments. Those stumbles and gaffes that have become, unfortunately, a bit of a trademark.
Wait, seriously? He's blaming those on Harris. He can't actually believe she's behind tripped on the stairs gate, can he?
Well, according to Scoopington's sources, Harris allegedly insinuated she was behind those untied shoelaces at the G7 summit and even implied some teleprompter sabotage during the State of the Union address.
Okay, now that is some next-level mischief. But this isn't just about harmless pranks anymore, is it? These accusations, true or not, plant seeds of doubt about competence and stability.
Exactly. And that's where it gets really interesting. These rumors, even if completely baseless, can significantly impact public perception. This begs the question, is this a genuine rivalry playing out, or is someone perhaps playing a strategic game aiming to benefit politically from the other's downfall?
And things apparently escalate from bad to completely unbelievable. Scoopington writes that the supposed feud reached peak drama during, wait for it, a White House Monopoly game.
Ah, yes, the infamous Monopoly night. Because what could be more fitting for a story about political rivalry than a cutthroat game of real estate and ruthless capitalism?
You're laughing, but that's exactly what I thought. So tell me more, what went down?
Well, picture this. Tensions are high, the stakes are somehow even higher, and then Biden accuses Harris of cheating, which, according to Scoopington, ignited a shouting match about the 2019 Democratic primary debates.
Hold up, are we supposed to believe that these two were ready to throw down over Park Place and a few fake $1 million? I mean, I know those debates got heated, but come on.
Well, that's where Scoopington's account takes an even more outlandish turn. He claims this Monopoly meltdown got so out of control that it required intervention.
Intervention? From who? Their Secret Service detail?
Even better, former Presidents Obama and Trump.
You're kidding me, right? Obama and Trump together, playing peacemakers over a Monopoly game gone wrong. This has got to be some kind of political satire, right?
And it gets wilder. According to Scoopington, this bipartisan intervention went down at a Denny's. Yes, you heard that right, a Denny's. Apparently there was a pancake eating contest, an impromptu karaoke session.
Okay, hold on. Even if I suspend my disbelief about Obama and Trump teaming up to solve a Biden-Harris feud, are we really supposed to believe they all ended up at Denny's? Who's pitching this story, and where can I get some of what they're having?
It does sound too good to be true, right? And yet, Scoopington presents it with the utmost seriousness. He paints this picture of a late-night Denny's summit, complete with pancakes and power ballads, where these four political titans hash out their differences.
So did this bizarre breakfast for dinner diplomacy work? Did they all kiss and make up over Grand Slam breakfasts and moons over Miami?
Well, according to Scoopington, yes. Biden apparently apologized for the cereal debacle, and Harris vaguely admitted to some, let's call it, teleprompter shenanigans. The article even ends with a heartwarming scene of the four politicians embracing a supposed truce brokered over pancakes and power ballads.
It's all just a little too perfect, isn't it? Like something out of a feel-good political drama that absolutely no one asked for.
Exactly. It's a neat and tidy resolution, almost too neat. And this takes us back to that bigger question we've been circling. How much of what we consume, especially in this age of 2047 news and social media is genuine versus a carefully constructed narrative designed to push a certain agenda.
We started with a box of Lucky Charms and ended up at a Denny's Peace Summit with 2 presidents and a side of karaoke. It's easy to get caught up in the absurdity of it all, but maybe that's the point.
I've hit the nail on the head. Maybe the real story here isn't about whether Biden and Harris actually bond over late-night breakfast food, but rather what Scoopington wants us to take away from this whole charade. Is he trying to make a larger point about the theatricality of modern politics, or is he just trying to get a rise out of us?
It's like he's holding up a funhouse mirror to Washington and saying, look how ridiculous this all is. But is he actually offering any insightful critique, or is it just cheap entertainment? That's for us to decide.
And that's the key takeaway here. While Scoopington's story might be a wild ride, it's a reminder to engage critically with the information we encounter, especially when it comes to narratives surrounding powerful figures. We need to question those assumptions, seek out multiple perspectives, and remember that even in the highest offices, human relationships with all their complexities and contradictions are always at play.
This deep dive into White House hijinks may have started with a bowl of Lucky Charms, but it leaves us with some serious food for thought. How can we discern truth from spin in an increasingly noisy media landscape? And just how much power do these narratives hold over our perceptions of even the most powerful figures? As always, we encourage you to continue exploring. Delve deeper, consider the motivations behind the narratives you encounter, and most importantly, form your own conclusions. Until next time, stay curious.